What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. Today we're talking about this.
Disclosure team Lue Elizondo and those whole folks are being schooled in a narrative. Okay, and
I'm familiar with it.
Okay,
and you're 100% right. And just to stop you for a second, I had a falling out with him, and because I realized that he was trying to manipulate me, and it almost came to blows.
All right, Vetters, please hit that like button. That really helps out the videos. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, y'all. All right, so what are we talking about in today's video? Well, some bombshell allegations just came out against Lue Elizondo, and we're going to talk about them. I actually had another video that I'd already made, was ready to upload until I saw this clip, and I figured this needs to go out first. So my video that was originally going to go out today is just going out tomorrow. It can wait. It's an amazing video. I spent all day making that video. It's about the Trump speech and some other things that have come out about that are quite interesting, to be honest with you. So I am going to put that video on Patreon and available for YouTube members so they can see that early. And then it'll release tomorrow to everybody. But today's video, bombshell allegations against Lue Elizondo. Let's take a look at this clip and then we'll talk about it.
is it a civilian
He was one of them.
group?
There's 9 field offices,
Right.
and they got a directive in 2017 that basically said we're going to be open and
Right.
disclose.
Right. Okay. So this is less a question and more of advice from somebody who's been in this for a long time and has some pretty deep background into government interference in terms of this whole process. Make sure that if you do participate in the disclosure process, that you don't take all of your information from one single source,
No.
especially from the Pentagon, because there's a long history of disinformation
Right.
coming out of those offices and a threat narrative that is being sowed within people who are involved in the disclosure unit. That whole disclosure team, Lue Elizondo and those whole folks are being schooled in a narrative. Okay. And
I'm familiar with it.
Okay.
And you're 100% right. And just to stop you for a second, I had a falling out with him, and because I realized that he was trying to manipulate me, and it almost came to blows, and it wouldn't have gone well for him, let me tell you, because he was also he has a side to the story too, and when he's a really smart guy. He's very bright, and when he came out of high school, he was recruited to go into this group, and he was a boots on the ground guy, and likes his bourbon. So we had a lot of talks over bourbon, and he did that work for a while, and he did a lot of like breaking up trafficking and stuff like that, which is in the news these days, and it's a real problem. Any case, he was in a house, and they were breaking up a ring, and they were rescuing a group of young people, and one guy blew himself up, and he was on the other side of the wall, and he was almost killed. He was really injured badly, and he was no longer able to do that. So then they put him in a desk job, this job, and you know that messes with your head, and that's part of what his problem was. But he projected it onto me, but he was also trying to manipulate me, and that's when we had to come to Yeshua meeting.
Jeremy Corbell was talking about that as well, about his divergence from the influence that he's been getting from that group.
Yeah.
It's spinning a narrative, a negative narrative.
Yeah.
ETs that really isn't substantiated.
Yeah.
With the facts, with the science.
No, I get it, and so I just said I'm tapping out. So, but I know what I read. I know what information I was given. I know who I talked to. And, you know, I mean, I have a pretty good BS meter. And so I mean, I believe they're here. They're here. Probably in here right now. So.
All right. Awesome.
All right. So this is crazy, and there's a lot to talk about from this clip. Right. We've got essentially this guy saying that he cut ties with Lue Elizondo because he felt Lue Elizondo was trying to manipulate him, and it almost came to blows, right? And they would hang out and drink bourbon and discuss things, right? I mean, honestly, I think a lot of people have felt that way, if I'm being honest, right? People can do good things and then not so good things, right? And Lue Elizondo has been accused of manipulating people before. I mean, he worked counterintelligence. Is it just a part of him? He doesn't really know how to turn that off. You know, he used it so much in the government that, you know, I don't know. And this guy also says some interesting things here, like, you know, recruited straight out of high school into this thing. Into what thing? What are you talking about? Because clearly you're saying he worked to stop cartels and stuff too. I don't know if people knew that. I don't even know if that's true. And that he went on this mission, I guess, that this guy, you know, blew himself up. Lue Elizondo was on the other side of the wall and he got injured and they put him on a desk job. This job, he says, right? Like UFOs out. But Lue said he stopped working for the government, right? So it's kind of a weird thing. Like, this is stuff Elizondo's been accused of, being a disinformation agent, right? Out there pushing a threat narrative, as they talk about in this video, right? That's clearly a part of it, right? They're a threat. The aliens, UFOs are a threat. We need to be careful. And then you hear some guy in the back like, yeah, Jeremy Corbell's been saying the same thing. You know, like, wait, what? You know, I don't know if Jeremy's going to respond to that or whatever. But I can tell a lot of people do not trust Lue Elizondo. I put out a lot of videos for quite a few months about Lue Elizondo. I've got no pushback. Zero pushback except from Lue Elizondo sycophants. Because Lue Elizondo's been accused of allegedly manipulating people behind the scenes to get them to do horrendous things to people. Dox, threaten, harass. Yeah. I've been a victim of it myself. Right? So it's like this honestly doesn't surprise me to hear this. Right? But in this open setting, it just goes to show that people are just openly talking about this. Right? Lue Elizondo has shown fake photos. He's manipulating people allegedly. Right? He's allegedly got a group of people online that harass and dox and create profiles on people, do background check. I mean, it's insane, right? All allegedly, right? Legally, I gotta say that. And all counterintelligence tactics, right? Which Lue Elizondo has admitted to being a part of. That's not a secret, right? And pushing this threat narrative. But again, I think so many people are aware, right? Who are in the UFO community. And I can't tell you the string of people who have had bad experiences with Lue Elizondo. The wake that he leaves of people, right? One incident, two incident, maybe you could say, you know, okay, difference of opinion, this or that. But when there's just so many people that have had such horrible experiences with Lue Elizondo that they get left in the dust, right? You got to start to wonder, if there's smoke, there's fire, right? And with Lue, it's like the whole house is on fire, right? Like, and that's, God, what a weird position to be in, right? If you're that guy, because I don't know. It's just, what, you know, is he doing this work for the government? So in that sense, if you're like, well, if you know he's doing the work for the government, does that excuse it? Not really. Not in my opinion. I think he's doing a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with his job, right? He uses his skills he's learned against people that have no defense against it, right? in the UFO field, genuine people who are concerned and care about this topic, right? Who believe in aliens and UFOs. Honestly, I would argue that Lue Elizondo doesn't believe in aliens or UFOs. That's my opinion. I don't think he actually believes any of it. Pretends to believe, pretends to have special powers and, heard things, but I don't think he actually believes it. I truly don't. I think he believes it in the statistical sense, like Obama meant, right? Like out in the universe, there's life, but I don't think he believes here. And that guy, you can tell he's a believer, right? What does he say? I believe, in this phenomenon. I believe in the alien, right? I believe they're in this room, right? I don't know. This is just kind of crazy. I thought I needed to put this out. So let me know down in the comments if you've had an interesting experience with Lue Elizondo. Probably a lot of people are scared to talk about it. The hate group has come up before, right? This allegedly organized effort of, like I spoke about, people online who are absolutely crazy fans of Lue Elizondo and will defend him to the T. They defend him so much. I mean, I've never seen, there's not any other person in the UFO community like that. Nobody. Right? Jeremy Corbell doesn't have people like that go around harassing people in his name. Your Stephen Greer's, your anybody. Just name anybody, name any UFO personality in the UFO community. Lue Elizondo is the only one that's been accused of having this, hate group and that all these sycophant fans that go out and do these horrendous things. I mean, horrendous. So isn't that strange? It's only him. And then you got guys like this telling their story. I've heard this story like this many times from many people. I was being manipulated by Lue Elizondo. Right? It's like, how much more does this guy have to do to just not be trusted? Right? Eventually the bubble will burst for guys like that. I mean, overall in the UFO community, Lue Elizondo is not trusted. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, he is not trusted. People do not like him, right? At all. No matter what he does. One, he'll never admit it. He'll triple down. Right? He's making a name for himself out in the real world, right? Age of Disclosure. He's got a new book coming out. I think he's going to just be pushing that. But how far is that going to go? You know what I mean? He's going to wither away, find something else to do. That's what I think is going to happen. And like Lue Elizondo always said, these problems usually take care of themselves. And I think that's what's going to happen to Lue. But I'm glad more people aren't afraid to speak up about it. But watch, that guy will get attacked. I'll get attacked just for saying this. It's going to happen. But a lot of those people are withering away as well. Because you know what they're realizing? Lue Elizondo is going to leave them out to dry. More than likely. Right? They helped him. They did some shady stuff for him, allegedly. And when they're going to need him, he won't be there. He won't stick up for them publicly. I think you're going to have whistleblowers come forward about Lue Elizondo. Right? And again, a lot of people who are UFO personalities, it's just you don't talk shop out in public. Right? It's just not the code, if you will. Right? So you're not going to hear them talk bad about Lue Elizondo. Their actions will speak louder than words, right? They won't publicly support him, but they won't unsupport him, right? They won't talk about him. They just won't talk about him, right? And they're not going to put down people who are speaking out against him. They're just going to let it happen and be like, yep, this is the bed you made, Lue, And it's crazy. That's honestly crazy. It's a perfect example of there is absolute shadiness in the UFO community by shady people. And I personally, is he doing it to cover up UFOs and aliens? I don't really care. You know what I mean? For me, the truth about UFOs and aliens isn't worth losing our humanity, treating each other horrifically, right? As humans, being inhumane to each other. How is that worth finding out the truth about UFOs and aliens? I don't think that's worth anything, right? But it's all to help better humanity. So we're going to better humanity by being inhumane? Tell me how that helps. People think somehow tech will bring us, you know, we're going to be hands across America like that Coca-Cola commercial all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like, what does advanced mean? Right? It's like, it just brings up so many things. I'm not willing to, you know, two rights don't make a wrong for me. The ends don't justify the means, in my opinion. And even if the government is hiding this stuff, and you got people like Lue who may allegedly be disinformation agents doing all this stuff, right, in the name of national security, protecting this, that, so what? That doesn't make it right. You know what I mean? But again, I think there's a lot of Lue that it's just his ego, right? Bruised ego. His lawyers are absolutely insane online, in my opinion, right? In my opinion. One of Lue Elizondo's lawyers just came out saying, forget disclosure, you're never going to get it from the government and this and that and all this stuff. It's like, it's a shit show. It's a complete shit show, right? I think there are people you can trust when it comes to government disclosure. I'm kind of finding that out. It's hard to figure out who those people are, right? Your best bet is to trust your gut, follow your instinct, do your own research, and do what you want. Don't listen to anybody else. Don't let anybody tell you the truth or tell you that, or don't even listen to me. Do your own thing. You know what I mean? You want real disclosure? Go out in a field and try psionics. See what happens, right? Go hang out with your friends. Go talk. Go speculate. Go whatever. You know what I mean? Read some books. It's like, get out there, touch some grass. See if you can experience the phenomena yourself, right? So anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm going to put a link to this so you can go check it out for yourself if you want. We'll see you guys in the next one. So don't forget my video tomorrow about the Trump speech, disclosure speech that may be happening. There's a lot breaking down about that right now that I've had to pull all together. It's a spider web. Again, it took me all day to make the video. And it can wait till tomorrow. So if you want to catch it early, join Patreon. I've got it on there. Or if you're a YouTube member, you can see it on there as well. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember about us. Every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.